My landlord sold the house I had lived in for 11 years and gave me 60 days to get out. And I didn't want to experience that again. I'm Shannon Scott, owner of Soul Flower Naturals Boutique, natural hair specialist, and I help women with sacred alignment.
Sacred alignment, okay. What does that mean?
It's kind of like a rebirth. As women, we go through so many different stages in life. We're going to go through menopause, we're going to go through motherhood, we're going to go through being a wife, but no one tells you how to get through each phase and grow and prosper. And sometimes it takes a whole rebirth, a death, letting the old you die, the new you come about, and I help women. I guide them through the whole process.
So you are relocating to North Carolina. Where were you before you got here?
Pennsylvania,
Okay.
before I got to North Carolina.
Yes.
Yeah, I came to North Carolina in 2010.
Okay. You were living in Pennsylvania. Were you renting or did you own?
Always renting.
Always renting.
Always renting.
So what was it about this particular time that led you to purchase? Like what happened? What was the situation?
I met someone who taught me about legacy, building family legacy. But that came after my landlord sold the house I had lived in for 11 years and gave me 60 days to get out. And I didn't want to experience that again.
Yeah.
And I've been experiencing that since November of 2022. So I haven't had a home since November of 2022.
You were renting. What were you paying in rent there?
$750. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Beautiful house. Beautiful backyard, beautiful front yard. It was gorgeous. I loved it.
What was your favorite thing about that house?
That it was, it had character. It wasn't a new build. It was an older home. It had archways similar to yours, archways and room for my children. The backyard was beautiful. I really loved the front yard. I had a garden in the front yard, oasis in the backyard. It was nice. It was a nice house.
So being told you got 60 days to leave, like what was that like for you?
Shock, because it was also, I went through some personal trauma too, like I lost my daughter. So I wanted to keep the house because she lived there. And he knew that, and he wouldn't sell it to me. Like he wanted me to buy it at first. And then when COVID happened, you know, everyone was buying those houses cash.
Yes.
That's what he did. He wanted the cash, so.
And they were selling at a very, very expensive rate.
Yep, and they bought it just like that.
Yeah.
So I was in shock with that too. Like it's like, I was there 11 years, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do now?
So like a house that he might have paid $30,000 for.
He paid $15,000 for it.
And he probably sold it well
I think
over.
I want to say 180 or 190.
Yes, that's not surprising. And you were going to get an appraisal and actually
I got
pay.
it. I got the appraisal.
And the appraisal was
85.
85. And so that's why he wouldn't sell it to you. So then you decided, okay, someone talked to you about legacy.
I bought land.
You bought land.
An RV.
Okay. Oh.
And I stayed in there for a while, only in the summer. And then in the winter, I bounced house to house. And then last winter, I moved to Belize. So I lived in Belize for a little while.
Oh, nice. And what brought you back?
Work. That's it.
You didn't find that you could get really good, sustainable work there?
So what I was doing was living in Belize. Since I wasn't a citizen, you can only do 30 days at a time.
Okay.
So I would stay 30 days, come back here to work for 2 weeks, 30 days, 2 weeks, 30 days, 2 weeks. That's what I was doing.
So North Carolina, how did you end up choosing to purchase here?
Oh, my son is here. My clients are mostly here. My client base is here. So I wanted a home base here. I still want a home base in other places, but I needed my first one, so this is my first one.
And when you and I met, we met through a referral from a friend. You had already started looking. So what was that like?
It was horrible. You were magnificent, okay? So I think I went through 2 or 3 other realtors, and they didn't help me. Like everything you did on the first phone call, I was doing before I met you. They weren't doing that. They weren't helping me find houses. They weren't taking what I wanted. I was the one finding the houses. I was the one looking. I was the one telling them about it, and then they would just set up the call. Sometimes I would set up the call. Yeah. So before I met you, I was floating in the wind.
And then we met.
Yes.
And on our first phone call, our first discussion was, have you been pre-approved? And talk about that process.
I remember you asking me, and you were very to the point, what do you want? like what you looking for. And I told you everything I was looking for, and you found it the same day. It happened to be the same things I found because I was the one doing
That's right.
the work. But you found it the same day, and we've been going together ever since.
Yeah.
You on point.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I find that even if you have some challenges, I understand how to help you work through those challenges. And that is the one big thing I think that sets me apart, is because I really truly have a passion for the work, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, I have educated myself about different programs that help people actually get over the hump to be able to purchase. Right. And I know that that was something that you and I had to deal with, because when we first met, you were working with someone, you had been pre-approved. Now, what was that pre-approval amount?
140.
It was 140. And then the home that we had found needed so much work
I'm
that
so glad I listened to you.
and it couldn't be financed.
Right.
Not in the way that we
Yep.
were trying to do it, because at the time you were trying to do use down payment assistance, which is an amazing program, right? There's a city and there's a county. And in this particular case, you qualified for the county down payment assistance, but you could not do the repairs.
Right.
Do you remember exactly what the issue was in terms of the repairs, why they wouldn't approve it?
Yeah, there was a whole room that was, I wouldn't even say unfinished. It wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was still attached to the house, but it was the walls weren't there, the floor wasn't there.
So minor repair wouldn't have been an issue. It was the fact that this room was gutted, and it was gutted to the studs.
Yes,
Right.
way past the studs.
Way-
You could see the earth. Yeah, yes.
So that was a no-go. So we very quickly moved on to the next property.
Well, I don't know if you remember, I called you and said, I'm not doing this. I said, I'm not looking anymore, I'm done. I called you and you were like, okay, well, call me when you're ready. And then I called you back within a week because I have a mentor, and I called her too. And I was like, I'm not doing this. And she said, what would you do if you were looking for a house from me? And I was like, fine. And I called you right back. And this was the first house we
The first house we
So,
saw. Yeah. And we went out to the property, and it's over an acre.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that property.
1.87 acres. Yes, a petite house because I don't need a big house. The house on the hill is what I call it.
Yeah.
It's cute, it's perfect. And I remember this too, you kept going, and it's moving ready. And it's moving ready. You kept saying that the whole time you showed me the house. It's
Because
moving ready.
the other houses or the other house that you looked
Was
at,
not.
that's right. And because you know everyone has a budget, right? And everybody lately is saying, "Oh, you can't find a house less than 200,000." That is not true. We found. I'm taking a break from the episode to encourage you and to remind you that if you want to be a homeowner, homeownership is for you. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. It doesn't matter what anyone else believes about your opportunity to purchase. It's about what you believe. And if you don't know where to start, then I'm going to tell you the first step is to get our Homebuyer Guide. It'll walk you step by step through how to build your credit. This is your first task, building your credit. So click the link, shoot us your email, and we'll get that guide right to you. So let's get back to the episode. We found a home that was less than $200,000, that was move-in ready,
1 acres.
on over an acre. In this particular area, that's kind of, you know, that's a long shot sometimes.
Perfect. It's perfect.
But it's there. They're there, and you can actually find them. The HVAC had been done. The roof had been done. The water heater had been done. Everything in this house had already been done. Now, of course, you know, the interior, you still want to do some work, but all of the major systems in the house was done. So when you walked into that house, what was the thing that you liked most about it?
The size. I like that it's small. I love the front porch. I love that it's on that much land. That's it. I just loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the space is enough.
And that I can, like you kept saying, I can move right in.
Yeah.
There's nothing to really worry about in that house. There's
Exactly.
nothing to worry about.
What was that loan process like for you?
Emotional. It was an emotional roller coaster. It was there were a lot of very, very low points that I don't know if I'll go into too much detail, but it was very low. Like I even called my sister and told her I had life insurance for my son.
Oh my God.
Because the trauma I've already been through, so it's like a pile on. And in my head, I was like, I already been through so much. Why is this so hard? Like, why does it have to be so hard? And I remember I was driving, listening to YouTube, and I came across video that said if you've done everything you can, you stop.
Yeah.
So I stopped. I listened to the video and it said give it to God. And that's what I did. I was just like, I went to bed that night and I said, you got this, because I can't do it no more. And ever since then, everything's been flowing, rolling, flowing. Not perfectly, but it's flowing and I'm not stressing out. I wasn't stressing out anymore.
Well, that's why all that has to happen.
Yes, so you
Because-
remember.
so that you relinquish it, so that you release it. Because remember, pressure make diamonds.
Yes.
Without the pressure, yeah. And without the pressure, you're just still a lump of coal. And he has to say, listen, slow down.
Slow down.
I called you to this place. So that means that you're going to have to trust me for the answers to how to get it.
I find we do his work a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's not for me to do. That part wasn't for me.
For you.
My part was to get there.
That's right.
And so I let him take over.
I introduced you to one of my favorite lenders, Bruce Canada,
Yes.
with Atlantic Bay Mortgage.
Yes.
He does down payment assistance, and he's so thorough.
He is.
Yeah. So when you talk about the loan process and how it was difficult, what do you feel like was the most difficult part?
Well, I had an issue with IRS. That was my most difficult part, dealing with them getting my paperwork. The way that the loan assistance people wanted it, not Atlantic Bay, but the down payment assistance people. So getting the paperwork in the format that they wanted it, that was the problem.
Yes, because you had to file several years of taxes. So that's a reminder. File your taxes.
If you want to buy a house.
If you want to buy a house. You definitely need to file your taxes, right? So that was one issue. And then we had another issue that arose. Once the inspection
Yes.
was fine, but then we got to the appraisal. And the appraiser said, hey, there are a couple of issues that we need to address.
Yes.
And the seller said, listen, we don't have the resources to address that. And so then it was incumbent upon you and I to try to work through these issues to make sure that we could move forward. And we were able to move forward through
That was another
those
one
issues.
I gave.
Yes.
I was like, I'm just going to give it up there.
That one was a hard one.
It was.
Yeah, between the IRS and the repair that needed to be made based on the appraisal, yeah, it was tough. But you know what? The thing about it is that's the challenge to get over. That's where expertise comes in. So where people say, do I need to work with an agent? Oh, you can do it by yourself.
I wouldn't encourage anyone to do it by themselves.
Yeah, because there are things that I know to do that someone else wouldn't know to do. I had a relationship with a contractor who was willing to do that work
Oh, nice.
ahead of time without being paid and to be paid at closing. If you don't have that type of relationship, you can't just pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, listen, seller can't afford to pay for this repair.
No.
I'm not asking my buyer to, make this repair. Will you do this knowing that you'll get paid at closing? Because what happens if it falls apart?
Right.
So they're taking a risk. So now he's betting on me as a person that he has done business with in the past to say, I'm willing to do this on the strength of our relationship. Now, if you as a buyer have that kind of relationship, hey, it's wonderful. You said you were paying $750 in rent?
For 11 years.
For 11 years?
He never raised the rent.
He never raised the rent. So how did you feel about knowing that you were going to be paying more? Did you feel like you would be paying less in rent or that...
This day and age?
Yes.
No.
Overbuying, over purchasing.
No. With the rents that the way they are? No, I didn't feel like I'll be paying less than rent. No. Renting was no longer an option for me.
Yes.
It's no longer an option because I don't want to be in that position again where somebody could wake up and decide, okay, you have to leave again.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be in that position again. I don't want my son to be in that position again. I don't want his children, when he has them, to be in that position. And I feel like owning land, he'll never be in that position. He'll always have something to come to.
Yeah. So did you have to do any type of preparation to prepare for going through the loan process? Like, did you have to fix your credit? Yeah.
I did have to fix my credit. I used self
Okay.
because I didn't care about that stuff. I just didn't care. My whole life I didn't care. But I did. I fixed it, and it was easy.
Well, what was the process like
I
for
u-
someone who's never had to fix their credit?
I used a program called Self. They rebuild your credit because I didn't have credit either.
Okay.
So they do a program where they rebuild your credit and give you a credit card and tell you, and they do automatic payments so that the score keeps going up. And it worked perfectly. It was easy and it worked perfectly.
Wonderful. So by the time you applied, what was your credit score?
Gee, I don't remember those
You don't remember?
I don't. I don't remember what they were when I applied, but I do remember it kept going up while I
Yes.
was applying. One time it went down um, because Bruce found out I had like different names. And so they were all in different
Yeah.
spaces. So I called the credit bureau and put it under one name, and then it went up overnight.
Wow, yeah. And I remember, so with the down payment assistance program in North Carolina, you have to have at least a 640.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first talked to Bruce, because we left the other lender that you had initially started working with, because I don't know whether they weren't responsive or what. Do you remember what the issue was with them?
They were not good. Like
Yeah.
they just weren't good. They again, I was the one researching all the options, and that's not my line of work.
Exactly.
And they weren't helpful.
Well, I remember Bruce saying, okay, she needs at least a 640 to qualify for this down payment assistance, and we have a little ways to go. Don't just be inspired by Shannon's episode, but take the next step. In the description below is the credit building guide. Get the guide and make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss not one episode of Buy Back Your Life.
Oh, because before I met Bruce, I was applying everywhere.
Yeah.
And every time I've applied, my score went down.
Went down.
Yeah. And that's when I think it was 7 points too low when I got to him. And then he found out about my names. And when I did the names correction, it went up.
Okay.
Like 16 points.
That's right. And then he immediately called me back and was like, okay, we're good on the 640. We're good. So now we have, the taxes. We need to make sure we work on the taxes. And then you got the tax situation straightened out. And then it was the repair issue. And then with the appraisal. And then we got that worked out. So
It was literally 91 days.
91 days.
91 days.
And it felt like every one of those 91 days was overcoming an obstacle.
It felt like hell.
Did it literally feel like
Yes,
hell?
because I've been there, and it did.
It did.
Yes, it felt
The frustration?
frustration, and I've never been through the process, so I didn't know what to expect. And when I first started the process, I was told 30 days. So I got nervous when it was over 30 days, and I was told 45 days, and I got nervous when it was over 45 days. And I would get phone calls that are like, if you don't have this in 2 days, you're gonna lose it. And if you don't have this in 4 days, that anxiety is insane.
It's very stressful.
Yes, very.
And everybody doesn't have the same situation.
That's right. Some people it's easy.
Some people it's very easy, but in the end, look at how it turned out. Like, it was challenging, yes, but I kept telling you, listen, it's a process. It's a process.
You also told me a scripture about being persistent. Or you told me about being persistent, and my mom told me the scripture about being persistent.
We have to keep moving. We have to keep pushing. If we can't go through the front door, we go around to the back door.
We went through doors, windows.
There you
We went through
go.
the crawl space.
That's right.
We went everywhere.
And I remember when we walked that property, there was an outbuilding on it. And you walked into that outbuilding and you said, what?
That's gonna be my hair space.
This is going to be my hair space. So even though there were obstacles in the way, everything you needed
It's on that land.
is on that land. And so it was worth it.
I wasn't gonna stop anyway. I mean, I did in the beginning because I thought maybe this isn't for me, but once the process started, I wasn't gonna stop.
Yeah.
My sister called me the other day and said that. She said, I've never seen someone so determined not to rent again.
Yes.
She said, you were so determined.
And here's the good part. Is it's yours.
It's mine.
It's yours. It's yours. Right? So how much did you actually borrow?
132,
132. How much down payment assistance did you get?
15,000.
15,000. And you are aware that you have to live in the property for 15 years. You pay nothing on that down payment assistance, which is wonderful. If you decide to sell the property, then you just pay back what's prorated, because it's prorated every month based on how much you pay. Okay, so we got that. What's your interest rate?
6 point something. I can't remember the point something.
Okay, so 6 point something. And what is your monthly payment?
1032. I couldn't ask for anything more. I'm not renting.
You're
You know,
not
have you
renting.
seen the rents?
Oh, of course.
They're ridiculous. No, I'm not renting.
And that's right. You have a 2-bedroom home. Where would you get that for 1032?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Not, and I work from my home. Like, not the way people may think, but I use my land a lot. Like, people come for meditation, people come for sacred work, and apartments can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do it there.
Yeah.
So my mother was insistent that I just get an apartment. I'm like, I can't do that. It's a waste of money to me.
It's a waste of money.
Yeah, I
That's
couldn't
right.
do it.
And not only is it a waste of money, but you're leaving your children to start over from scratch when you don't take the step to purchase something. It doesn't have to be a big something. It doesn't have to be an elaborate something, but it needs to be a something.
Yes.
You don't know how many people I know right now that are nearing retirement who, because their families left them something, they're
good.
moving into that
Yeah.
something, whether it be small or large, and it's setting them free. Because they're now going into retirement with not having a debt over their head.
Yes.
And so you doing that for your son, it's bigger than just you. It's a generational move
Yes.
that I think so many of us aren't aware of just how big that is.
I wasn't. I think if I had known earlier, I would have done it earlier.
Yeah.
I found out late in life, but I wasn't going to stop.
Yeah.
I found out late in life. But I'm glad I did it. He doesn't get it yet. He kind of gets it, but he doesn't get it yet. But he'll figure it out.
Exactly. Like now you know that, okay, my monthly payments are set. I know what I'm paying every month. And of course, people will say, well, taxes will go up.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all fine.
That's right. Insurance may go up. That's fine. Also, oh, well, I have to do repairs to the property.
I was doing repairs in my rental. I was hiring the plumber. I was hiring the electrician. I did it.
Yeah, because your landlord is your landlord, right? Some landlords are more responsive. Some will take on the responsibility, and some will let the place fall apart and leave it up to you to make the repairs. From 100%, you're saying, I would redo this.
Now, yes.
Yes.
I would redo it. I'm way more educated. I'm in the know. I would redo it. I'd be more prepared.
What would you do differently?
I have more money set aside. Like, I promise you, I was like, I just have to do it. And before I met you, I started the process about a year ago now, and I gave up. And I spent my savings. I was just like, let me go buy this, and I'm gonna go to Belize and forget all of this. And then I think the end of the year came, and I was like, let me do it again. And I just built it back up and started over. So I'm in the know now. I would encourage everyone to do it. Everyone I've spoken to, I've already encouraged them to go ahead and get something, and put your money away. Yeah.
What do you think having more savings would do for you right now in terms of your home?
Well, there's a tree that needs to be removed, so that costs a lot. I didn't know it cost that much.
Yeah.
But and then the kitchen, I want to redo the kitchen.
Yeah.
And knock out walls, your daughter
Exactly. But the good part about what you're saying is that it's yours.
It's mine.
So
yeah.
you can take the time, which we talked about. Everything doesn't have to happen today.
Right.
You make it beautiful for this time.
Right.
And as it grows and as you are able to make the repairs you want, then it just becomes more and more yours and more beautiful.
Yes, I agree.
So if there's someone who has not purchased, who may be thinking about it but not sure about whether it's for them, not sure it could actually happen for them.
It can happen. I just had this talk yesterday.
Did you?
Yes, with a client. I told her it can happen. Do it because of legacy, because of the family you may not have now, but you're going to have and you're going to build. And I told them about you, of course. I told them about Bruce, and I told them about building their credit. Just build the credit up if that's the issue. If it's not, just do it. I think, I know before I was scared because of the repairs and everything. I was married very early in my life. So since 30, I haven't been married. So living alone with 2 children, I didn't want to be responsible for all that stuff. That's all that kept me from purchasing the house, is that who's going to be responsible for the repairs? But then I ended up doing repairs myself anyway.
Because those are the stories we tell ourselves that just aren't true.
They're not true.
They're not true. Because you're going to have to put something in wherever you stay.
Wherever you go.
Right? So even if your landlord does all the repairs, you're paying for it.
Yes,
You're paying for his mortgage.
Yes,
so where you think you're not paying a mortgage, you're paying his mortgage.
With nothing. And you have nothing to show for it.
And also, one other thing, even beyond the legacy, which is huge, stability.
Yeah.
You know what you're paying. And yes, there will be repairs that come up over time. You own a car.
Exactly.
You got to pay for, are you complaining when you have to get
Yes.
But you know that's a part of
And it's just a part of it,
ownership.
yes.
ownership requires maintenance. If you're in a relationship, you got to maintain that relationship. It's going to always cost you something, but the cost is worth the price.
I was the only one in my family who didn't own a house. And they were still discouraging me from owning a house. That part I don't know why yet, but I was the only one.
Wow.
And I'm the oldest, and I was the only one.
But you stayed persistent. That's one thing I say, is that you're a perfect client, because even though there were some trials and some tribulations, you were determined. I would speak to you one day and you would say, but I'm working on it. And we would talk about different ways to maybe try this approach. Well, maybe try that approach. Hey, did you speak to the
And let's not forget your
supervisor?
prayers, okay?
My prayers, definitely.
Right on the phone, you would go into prayer.
Yes.
I loved it.
Because at the end of the day, we're going to get to this.
One time you had me on my knees crying.
Wow.
I was with a client, and I answered the phone, and I told you about the tax situation. And we talked about it. You did the same thing. We could try this, and then you went right into prayer. But it was a deep prayer. It was a good prayer. I had to dry everything off before I went back to do her hair.
Wow. Well, that was the Holy Spirit, because I don't even remember the prayer. But that's what you need. You need someone who's going to say, listen, it doesn't matter what it looks like. Let's deal with the reality of what it is. And the reality of what it is that we have an inheritance, and our inheritance is land.
Yes.
Right?
Speaking of your inheritance being land, did you know that Pine Hall was an antebellum farm?
I did not.
It used to be a plantation.
I did not.
I looked up its history before once I got the address, I looked up its history.
So you
for
will
me, it's
take over the
reclamation.
land.
Yes, reclamation.
Right. Exactly. For those people whose ancestors did not get to purchase there, you do. This is your first house, but I'm sure it's not going to be your last.
Nope, it's not. I'm going to buy a house out of the country too. I'm not sure about where else in the United States, but definitely out of the country.
So one time is all it takes. One time is all it takes to get there. I am so happy that you came to talk to me today.
I'm happy you invited me. I'm happy you're my realtor. Are my realtor.
Yes.
Not were, are my realtor. And I'm really grateful I met you.
Oh, and I'm grateful I met you, because every interaction is a blessing.
Yes.
Right? And my goal is to help people understand that, listen, you renting out your life, it's time to buy it back. The name of this podcast is Buy Back Your Life for a reason. It's because you're selling it away. When you're paying someone else's mortgage, when you're investing in someone else's future. And so I am so happy that you, Shen, have bought back your life. And I invite everybody else who may think that it's impossible to purchase, who do not understand the process, start. Find someone you trust who can help walk you through the process, because it is not okay to rent long term. It's a short term solution, yes, but it is not a long term strategy for your future. So if you love this podcast, and I know you do, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you share it with someone who might find this information helpful, interesting. And again, I thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tara Tillman of Westchester Realty, and I want to help you buy back your life. But in order for me to do that, I need you to reach out. Call me, email me, DM me, however you want to get in touch. I want to walk you through the home ownership process. Westchester Realty has been helping buyers just like you for 22 years. We know the process, and we want to show you that you too can become a homeowner. So give me a call, email me, because I want to help you buy back your life. Thanks for joining me on the Buy Back Your Life podcast. For more ways to realize your dream of homeownership, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.